What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fast Life Podcast. On today's episode, I'm sitting down with Wesley from Nuu Metal. We sat down in Echo Park, and let me just tell you, riding my chopper up to where we had to do this podcast was extremely sketchy. It was on this huge hill, crazy stuff. Anyway, it's not really important or about this podcast. Wesley is a badass fabricator. He is kind of got to start. I think he had said in this podcast, he got to start by doing a lot of case repairs and aluminum repairs. And when I started following him and started to come aware of the stuff he was building was through some of his Born Free builds. And more recently in love with like his 9-spoke 21-inch wheels and things that he's been having casted. Crazy stuff. Amazingly talented dude. Had a great time talking with him. Really hope you guys enjoy this episode. But first, before we get into it, got to hear about these sponsors real quick. As you guys know, and you've been hearing all month, Thundermax USA will be in Black Hills Harley-Davidson this year, set up for the 86th Sturgis Rally. Go check them out and get properly educated on how their ECM modules can drastically change the experience of your ride. Arlen S Motorcycles has everything you need to take your Harley-Davidson from stock to all-out custom. From custom wheels and carbon fiber bodywork to even titanium 12-point hardware. Check the link in the description to visit their website and enter the FastLife10 offer code to save 10% on your purchases. If you're looking for a newer used Harley-Davidson, I highly recommend my guys at Cowboy Harley-Davidson down in South Austin, Texas. I've been working with them for many years. I even bought my first FXR from them back in 2016. Hit the link in the description and get in contact with my guys so they can get you dialed in on a newer used motorcycle. If you or someone you know has been in a motorcycle accident, 1-800-LAW-TIRES is the first call you need to make. They are going to stand up for you against the insurance companies, which have zero interest in properly helping you get back on your feet. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIRES. If you or someone you know has been injured in a motorcycle accident, give them a call. Last but not least, Kabuto motorcycle helmets. It's the helmet I've been rocking. It's the one I'm about to rock to Sturgis. This helmet has been my go-to. It's lightweight with great airflow. It's got a sick design, race-inspired flow to the helmet. It's really cool. If you're ready to step up the quality and safety of the helmet you ride with, check out Kabuto Americas. Links down in the description. Now let's get into this podcast with my man, Wesley from Nuu Metal. We've been hanging all day now. It's like we've done like a few mini podcasts almost.
Yeah, I know. It's like I was like kind of worried, like, am I gonna run out of shit to like talk about? It's like, yeah, we already talked about that.
Well, it's cool because it gave me a little bit more insight. Because, like I said, you know, and you said it yourself earlier, that you know you're not like that open on like social media and stuff like that. So, other than the work that you produce, that's really all I have to go on.
Yeah, that's kind of like. Are we going right now?
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of like. The stuff I like doing the most is like I try not to give too many like opinions on there.
Yeah.
I try to give no opinions on there.
Same.
I just want to like the whole reason I have an Instagram account is just to show like shit that I'm doing because that's like what I love doing like just metal fabrication. You know, that's where it all started. Like everything. It's like all I've ever wanted to do really since I like. Was a teenager, but I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Is like. So
what was that spark? Like, what was there fabrication in the family or?
Nah, dude. Well, I mean, kinda, but there was. So of course, like a lot of people got like skateboarding, kind of got a lot of people into it, and that kind of helped me later. Yeah. Like skateboarding, kind of like the. People, some skaters like Jason Jesse and Max Schaff and shit, of course, you know, like these dudes, I was already into bikes for different reasons, but these dudes are like, oh, these guys got like I like this style, like vintage bikes. That kind of skating aspect people kind of got me into more of the vintage stuff. But where it started was, I never forget, I was like 15, me and my stepdad, like my real dad and my stepdad, they all rode Harleys, and everybody, my uncles and shit had Harleys, and I kind of was like not into it because like they did it, you know. Yeah. And but I was around it my whole life, and but one time, me and my stepdad, we went to Pennsylvania to get like this Cannondale four-wheeler. You ever seen those? Like
I don't know about that.
for a while, like Cannondale bicycles, they decided they wanted to make racing dirt bikes and four-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up in North Carolina, the town I grew up in, everybody had these like racing 400 four-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted a Cannondale, and we got a used one. We drove to Pennsylvania to get it. And we were at a hotel one night. I was 15, and Motorcycle Mania came on.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and that was like, it was like new at that point, right?
Yeah.
And I'd never, up at that point, I'd never knew about like welding much or like fabrication or anything. And then I seen this dude, like Jesse James, obviously, like making a gas tank out of like aluminum or some shit, or just like fabricating a whole fucking frame. And then I was like, dude, I think that's what I want to do, like build choppers. Mm-hmm. And but of course, like eventually
So you were 15 at the time, right?
Yeah, but I never wanted to. Eventually, I didn't want to build bikes like that, right? But that was just the whole fabrication side of it is what got me into it. It wasn't like just building a chopper or motorcycles. It was just like
it was not nothing
metal
specific.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just always wanted to do it, and I got into welding. I had a welding job when I was 18. I worked at that company for like 10 years and got promotions there and worked for the engineering team and some doing like they'd come out new models. I'd help them make fixturing for it. And I built a panhead. I had a 49 panhead that I built and fucking was riding every day. Like
what year was that?
What year when I built that?
Uh-huh.
Like 2012 or something like that. I had an iron head before then, like 2000. The first chopper I built was like an iron head, and it was like 2009, 2010 or something. And then I always wanted a panhead. I got one. I was riding like every day. Like we came to Born Free.
Yeah.
Rode like some of it there, and then we came back. It was like Born Free 4 or something. I came back home and I had this chick pulled out in front of me. I T-boned her. I had a pretty bad wreck. I was in the hospital for like a long time, and then that was like a turning point in my life that I just kind of was like, I'm gonna because I guess I got older and I was like, I build choppers, you know. It's like silly, but after that wreck, I was like almost died. I was kind of like, that's what I want to do. I'm just gonna do that. So I just kind of been always like chasing.
Why do you think it feels like that? Because I know what you mean. Like the older I get, the less I want to say specifically what I do for a living because it feels weird to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I guess this may be like a little bit of like imposter syndrome, you know? Like we all maybe have it like well, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, so I don't know. But
that's like
myself,
a term,
you know?
That's a term that's come around recently that I think really does fit the bill.
Yeah.
But you hear it so much and used so much that sometimes I feel like it loses its luster. But that is
for sure
100% what it is, right? It's like, yes, I did, do that thing. I did paint that bike. I did take that photo. But for some reason, calling myself a photographer feels weird.
Nah, for sure.
Because I still, like you just said, there's so many people that I consider photographers, and I'm not on that level yet, right?
Yeah.
Or if I ever will be. And so to have to claim the same name that I give them, sometimes it's imposter syndrome is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
But those people, I mean, they were influenced by somebody too, and they probably felt the same way, you know? And then I think like a lot of the people I've met that like influenced me in choppers and stuff, like most of them have been like really stoked how stoked I am, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, besides the dude I just mentioned, you know, I've never met him, but I've heard,
I think I haven't met him yet either, and he's kind of been a bucket list dude I've always wanted to talk to. But there's a pedestal that I have him on, and then I don't want that to get ruined by a personal experience.
Same. I don't want to meet him.
Yeah.
Because I don't like. He just kind of showed me something, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
He exposed.
I wasn't like a huge fan or nothing. He just kind of showed me something, and if anything, like he was supposed to do Born Free one year.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it. And I remember I was like looking forward to that.
It's like
to
2015. Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing what happened. And but and then he's kind of
Well, instead of backing out of that, he talked shit about it.
I was trying not to go there. He did, and I was disappointed because because so many people you don't realize you influenced.
Yeah.
He influenced, So I would think you'd want to be like stoked to like be a part of that, like because some of the dudes came through, like for instance, like what's his name, for us, like
Russell Mitchell.
Yeah. Like I remember seeing that dude when I was a kid on TV and like being like, oh, that's cool, and like how clean he would do a bike. Like he was one of the first people I'd see that was like, he was like, yo, I'm gonna build an old looking bike or bob or whatever, and but it's stripped down, no wires, not even cables or nothing, just cleanness. And I met that dude last year at Born Free, super friendly, super nice. Like I was surprised.
He was walking around the year before. Last year he was invited, so he built a bike for it. But he was walking around the year before, and I was going back from like the swap meet area to the like main area.
Yeah.
And I'm like looked up and I was like, Russell Mitchell, and he goes, yeah, man. I was like, dude, I'm a big fan. Like it's awesome to see you here, and kept moving, but. Like regardless of like what people feel like does his style fit now? Has he evolved? Like those have kind of been the things that have been talked about. But ultimately, I think it's like sick because that dude was part of this. He owns a part of the history of this custom motorcycle world, right? Like he was a part of it. The same way that now you or I are a part of it. But
But they probably felt the same. Well. I don't know if he felt imposter syndrome because that dude's like 7 foot tall and like he was like a model and stuff, But he probably at one time thought it was all pretty silly too, you know. Yeah. That wasn't that taking it that serious. And then but also when you like,
I think it would be very important. I hope that Jesse, at some point in his life, which I don't know him, so probably people that do know him that are listening to this might be like, yeah, good luck. But it would be nice for him to take a little bit of I don't know if the word is to humble himself, to go be a part of some of these things that he ultimately did help create. Yeah. And just, because it's weird when you want to pay respects to someone that inspired you, but they kind of won't give you the chance to, It would be cool to see him. I mean, whatever bikes he builds, there is a cosplay aspect to this stuff, but it's like, man,
everything.
It was that like that back in the day too. You don't think people started trying to dress like Billy Lane and Jesse James made a big living off selling his style, which was his clothes to people, and now it's coming back again.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you gonna talk shit about the thing that you make money on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I remember it was pretty when he was. It was recent. Like he posted something about like some cosplay stuff.
He was talking about Born Free Texas.
Oh yeah.
Last year, and then one of my buddies, Brad from Riff Raff Choppers, just went off on him. Yeah. And they were going back and forth, and
I've seen a few people I know go off on him, but
it's unfortunate, man. I wish he would just embrace it and come. If he was to come out and say that's a sick bike to like you or me or anybody, you know how fucking sick that would be.
Yeah, it doesn't do it. I don't know why, but like I don't know. I don't expect it either,
Yeah, same.
I don't expect it either, because I don't know that, that community is kind of tight. The people I meet, like a lot of times on social media in the chopper world, the people I meet, like my ego inside, like kind of tries to make something out of them, or like, at first
size them up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't like at first you try to judge them, but then when you meet them, or my experience, I can speak for when I meet them, they're like, we're all the same, and like and they're all pretty chill people, I haven't met like at least in the vintage motorcycle world of fabrication shit. That's what I like to be in, like choppers, like fabricating choppers and shit. They're all the people I meet are all pretty sick, you know.
I haven't met a over the top egotistical person that was like off-putting, you know. I mean, some people would say that certain people that are close to here are that way, but I don't knowing
Close
that
to
dude,
what, LA?
like close to live over here,
Yeah.
like. But I think that a lot of those guys are very talented, and they work and live in circles and environments that are much different than what I know myself. I mean, where you live over here in the Echo Park area, like you're more connected to a lot more of the style and influence that is like, whether it's fashion, art, like there's so much that goes on here, right? So you're kind of in a mecca in a sense where tastemakers and things like that exist. And that right there, you got to kind of have a different, you don't have to, but a lot of people might, what is normal and not egotistical in this society might be over the top in another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's why it's like judged kind of a lot, looked down on, you know, like.
Well, you being from North Carolina, how was that coming here? Like, was there a culture shock in that, or were you already kind of ingrained in like because you said you used to go to metal shows and do things like that? That was already kind of the community that you were?
I don't know, like not really a whole lot, because where I'm from in North Carolina,
Is it college town in Winston-Salem?
Well, I'm from a small town called King, which is like 20 minutes north of Winston. I always just say Winston-Salem because it's the biggest city close to it. Everybody knows it, but they don't know King, you know?
Yeah.
But still, where I'm from is like, the only difference here is like, I guess people-wise is like, it's more, you know, Spanish, Hispanic influence vibes, like especially Echo Park, you know. But in North Carolina, it's like black and white. That's like where I'm from. It's like 50% black and white, and that, I think that like played a lot of like raising me, you know, the shit the culture I was around and stuff. Like I grew up listening to like I grew up listening to like rap music and shit a lot. But so like I guess the only difference was that, but not really too, because my chick is my wife. Her grandma's Mexican, you know, so like, but just out here, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. I just didn't know if it was kind of a culture. So it wasn't so much of a culture shock because you kind of grew up with different cultures in a way out there in North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest culture shock is like all the people, like, and there's always something to do. I mean, it's the reasons I'm here. It's the reasons I love it. It's like the weather. It's the best weather in the world. I always say that if I had, I know people love to hate this place, you know, but a lot of people love it too because there's a shitload of people here. There's just always something to do. And if I had all the money in the world, there's nowhere else I'd want to live, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, my shop is in Boyle Heights, and the last week there's been like a big warehouse fire. But there's a part of that, I mean, I hope it all gets taken care of, but a part of that's like exciting, and there's always something going on, you know? Like we just went for like a walk to get a drink, right? And there was like a crash in the middle of the street, and like the truck was out there and cops and shit, and like it's just kind of like alive always, you know.
It feels like a real live Grand Theft Auto video game. Like there's always people around, conversations you're walking in and out of, and it's alive. It's
kind of sick. Like I mean, eventually you need a break, and I go on vacation or something, get a break. But well, the town I'm from is a small town. Everyone it's bigger now than it used to be.
Yeah.
But growing up, everyone knew each other. There was like one high school, you know, one elementary school. We all just knew each other, and it's great. Nothing against it. Like, I'm very proud to be from there. I like going back, see my mom. But you know, I love it here. At least right now, I still love it here. You know, and like we talked about earlier, like I can always find something. Like I got a polished guy that's reliable. I got you know, the making the wheels and shit. Like I was able to. There's still a lot of industrial shit here, so I I found like a great foundry I deal with, like, you know, and I might not. It's harder to find shit like that out there, you know. Mm-hmm. Not that it's not there, but I'd have to. It's not like down the road.
Yeah,
like
probably go across the state or something like that to another city. So when you started doing the fabrication, you started building your first panhead. Like, what was the next start? How did you start figuring out how to make money within this like industry, if you will?
I don't know that I figured it out yet.
yeah. I mean, trust me. When did you start making a couple dollars? You know?
I guess like. I guess like when I moved here,
you were working for that like aerospace place.
Yeah, well, when I first moved here, I worked I worked in aerospace mostly, but for a little moment, I worked for this Porsche company that built like high-end Porsches called Singer Vehicle Design. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of them. Yeah,
they're still around. They build like these. I mean. A base model was probably like $1 million by now. They're ridiculous, and they're just like restored 911s. So I worked there, and then I worked in aerospace. And while I was working in the aerospace place, you know Dave Polgreen?
Mm-hmm. I don't know him personally. I know of him.
Yeah. Well, amazing. If you ever meet him, if you ever go up and introduce yourself, he'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Like whatever y'all say in that moment. Like 2 years later, you see him, he'll ask you how your wife's doing by name. He'll remember like all your, you know, what y'all talked about. Like great dude. But and I've known him from when I lived on the East Coast, because he used to live in St. Paul.
Okay.
And so we had like the blog days.
Yeah.
We had mutual friends. When I moved out here, he would get me to repair like. He's a really great fabricator himself, but he has a bunch of parts, you know, and he would get me to like repair like broke fins on heads and shit, or broke cases.
Yeah.
And then I would, you know, just on this, it was like a side gig I would do it. It was mostly through him.
Yeah.
And then he eventually like, he put more people on to me, and then people from other states were sending me cases to fix. People in Australia and Japan send me a lot of stuff. But it all started like that dude, really, like putting people onto me. So fucking if Dave ever listens to this, like thanks Dave. You know,
Where's he out of now?
Huh?
Where's he out of now?
He's in Orange County.
Orange County.
Yeah. He's always been Orange County.
I've known of him for a long time, and the more people I've talked, especially in the SoCal area, he comes up a lot as somebody that was a part of their progress. A lot, you know. I
don't know if he tries to do that, like help people out, but I know a lot of people that he's just like a person that you really enjoy seeing. You know, you're like, oh, that's fucking Dave. You know, like and he's always happy to see you. Always, you know, like he'll, you know, like just ask you questions like. You're not really dying to talk about himself, just really stoked to talk about you, you know.
So you're repairing all these cases, you know, aluminum welding basically. How quickly did you pick up on that? Was it like we were talking about welding aluminum earlier in the shop, and it's like that seems like one of the harder things to weld from my perspective of like not knowing yet.
Yeah.
It does kind of scare me.
Oh yeah. I think I probably picked up on it pretty quick because, you know, in aerospace, most of the shit I welded was aluminum.
Okay.
And it would be like different grades of aluminum, right? So, you had to know the right fill rods to use, and that shit's like so regulated. Like we would have like heat boxes that would be like, okay, this is like a 40-43 3/32 rod. And it's heated to like this certain temperature, you know, and you have to like, get it and check it out and like write down that you're using this shit and you know, and what time you took it out, what time you put it back, and all that, right? And you and you'd have to write off like I'm welding on this type of aluminum with this fill rod. So is
it more for also checks and balances of like if there is a problem, then they can trace it down to the minute thing of like the filler rod?
For sure. Yeah. I think just how like strict that shit was, just I learned a lot in that to where Like I'm not acting like I know everything about welding cast aluminum.
Yeah.
I just think it came like a little bit easier, you know, like and then because it's still because every like case I do, like someone might be like, yo, I seen you fix this crack case. Mine is exactly the same, and I get it. It's never the same. And it's not them. It's just like it fucking moves, man. You like heat it, and then especially cases, dude. Like this is probably pretty boring. Like, but like you know it starts like at the crank, right? And you got like cases mating surfaces, but then like they should be square with like the cam chest mating surface, right? And just any little thing that's off would throw something else off. So like maybe you fixed this area, but it moved, and now it pulled something else off that you might not have noticed, and then that might break down the road. So you just kind of it's very like time consuming.
So when you like say you're fixing a case that's coming out of the center, you know, the crank, right? And you're bolting it down to the table, and are you bolting in every spot like that way it's got pulled down? But would you also put like some kind of holder in the center so that the centerpiece is almost like, seems like you'd want to really fixture the hell out of it to get it to stay still.
Yeah, I try my best, and I've made like certain fixtures for certain jobs and stuff. But when those cases are like casted, right, sand casted, like knuckleheads and panheads and shit, because that's mostly the ones I fixed. Whenever they casted it, it was imperfect, and they machined it perfect, right? Mm-hmm. So whenever it cracks, not just cases, anything you weld, you know, you welded it. Whenever you weld it, it moves. It's always going to move.
Yeah.
You know, like if there's a crack, it's going to pull. So when the idea of like, I think people think when you heat cases, you only heat it so that it doesn't crack again, but you really heat it to relax it all. Because if there's a crack like on the left side of the case, mm-hmm. and you just heated, or you didn't even heat it, you didn't heat it, you just welded it. It's gonna get hotter in that area, right? And it's gonna pull that crack together. And when it pulls this part that's like stiff because it's not heat and relaxed, it's gonna be pulling that apart. So then now it gets a crack over here. So it's when you heat it, it's like you heat the whole fucking part.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
it
it's not a shock to one spot.
It relaxes the whole thing. Like I preheat it, I weld it, I post-heat it, I let it cool really slow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is like if you did like fixture it all down, are you coming back and heating it? Like say the way you would do a frame after you weld it on a hardtail or hardtail frame or whatever. Like you want to run the torch over all the metal to kind of like, I forget what the term is called. Like when you hit it with the heat afterwards, it's like a relaxing the metal, I guess you would say.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm still learning all my fast
stuff.
stuff.
I'm not an expert. Like I don't, I a lot of the shit I do twice, sometimes 3 times. But it takes a long time. Like especially cases, man, because you gotta. It's mostly the machining, right? Because I can.
Yeah, you're welding, and then you have to remachine all the mating surfaces and lips and all that stuff.
Yeah, because you can have it fixtured down, and sometimes it's not going to move, right? But if it does shrink, now this mating surface is smaller. Now you got to weld that mating surface up and like remachine it, right? And it's just like it's very time consuming, but it's like it's pretty rewarding when it's all done.
Yeah.
But there ain't a lot of people doing it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people that try, but like I said, that you get. You want to find someone that does it, and like you were just saying, that understands what's going to happen to the other side of the case. So there's less possibility for repeat cracks, or new cracks to form, or just whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this kind of thing, like how does that start to open up the pathways into doing other types of fabrication on bikes? And
for sure.
What would you say like your 2014 or not 14 your Born Free 14 chopper build, invited builder deal, what would you say was like where were you at fabrication wise going into that build? And I know that's a much more, we're talking like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're talking about cases you started welding like, 15 years ago.
It all was like from that and everything else leading up to it, right? But like I don't know if you looked at that motor much, but I really wanted to do like a lot of fab work to the motor because like I've seen people do because like people say it's all been done, right? Mm-hmm. Like choppers, it's all been done. Don't get upset if that's copied because it's all been done,
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get upset if anyone ever wanted to copy something. I wouldn't. I'm not saying that, but I still kind of chase that, right? I want to be like, has this been done? I want to try to do that. And so on that one, I wanted, from fixing cases and heads and aluminum stuff, I really wanted to like modify some of the aluminum shit on the motor.
Yeah.
Because normally people would be like, yo, I built this stretched out frame or chopped, and then these bars and, this crazy sissy bar and that was like the generic as part of it. But I really wanted to showcase the motor work. So I made the fins on the front go around the push rods. You see that?
I didn't see the other side of the moter because it was on that wall. But
yeah, well, like if you ever seen the like XR iron head motors?
Yeah.
You ever notice how the fins go around the push rods? I always loved that. So I was like, I thought it'd be cool to do it on a shovel head, pan head, whatever. So I did it on. Well, actually, I hit up. No, that was a different idea. Never mind. But so I always wanted to do that, and I had a outside Uller 65 pan head, and I made the fins go around the push rods on the front, and then the spark plug side, I made the top three that are normally notched out for the spark plug. I made those go around the plug as well. So the plug is like kind of coming out of those top three fins.
Oh, nice.
But it was enough room to get like a spark plug socket in there. And then I did that, and then I ran like a smooth cover for like electronic ignition, so I could like delete the generator. And I'm not delete generator, sorry, because I had a stator left side delete the generator, and then I ran a spoof cover to delete the like timer magneto.
Yeah.
So that hole that's normally there on the like the kidney area, I welded that up and sanded it smooth, and just little shit like that.
That's kind of cool that you took the approach to modify the motor in all these trick ways, because that's kind of where you're kind of coming from, in a sense, what you're explaining to me.
Well, I think it's because I was like in it. So like whenever I'm in it, like doing it, fixing somebody's shit, I'm like, man, that would be cool if it was like this, And then I got asked to do that show. So like a lot of ideas I'd already had. I was like, I'll just that show is like motivation to get it done. Those ideas done.
So what was your motivation on the overall aesthetic of the bike? Like, you kind of knew it was going to be a pan head. You were there on that, but like the rest of the stance. Oh,
that bike, when I built it, I wanted to do, so I had a 49 before that, and I just would have fucking problems out of it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, like I don't, like no shade to anybody that has like generator motors, but I don't really like them, Like I thought I did, and when I was in my 20s, and I had a 49 pan head, but I wanted to ride it all the time, and it kept fucking breaking, and while that's cool, and like I learned stuff and fix it, but it was like just if I only had one bike, I only had one bike, I could only afford to have one pan head, right? And it just kept fucking breaking, and I just had to keep working on it, motor stuff. So with that bike, I just wanted to do stuff like improvements that I thought could be done to the pan head. Like, like I incorporated a little bit of like stuff that I liked about shovel heads, because shovel heads are my favorite motor.
Yeah.
Like for instance, the rocker box, like on panheads, the tin like valve cover lid. It's like, you ever notice like it's like the threads on it or on the D-ring area, they're like a 1/4 inch thick of like thread surface, which, you know, it's like fucking nothing, and it's aluminum. It's like, it's a terrible design, you know. But I mean, I can't shit on Harley because it was made in the 40s, you know, designed in the 40s, right? But it's so that thread would always get stripped out because it's aluminum, and people were always like over torquing it.
Yeah, and your aluminum, you want a coarse thread instead of a fine thread, which I don't think that's fine thread on those, is it? But if it's
like a weird, it's actually like a 1024 or something like that.
Okay, damn, that's kind of,
it's supposed to be, but
that's kind of thin.
if you ask AI, it'll tell you a 1/4 24 or some shit, because I've done that.
Yeah.
You know, and but it's actually like, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but I'm pretty sure I'm right that it's like factory. It's like 1024. It's not 1/4, and but those all got stripped out, and people just, when they would just oversize it to the next bolt, and then now you're getting even less material, and eventually it would just be a crack with nothing to bolt to. So it was like my idea was, well, what Harley did later on is in the mid-year panheads, they made these thick D-rings that you would put over the tin lid. You ever seen that? Like the early ones that is like a big surface, and the other ones had like a 1/2 inch D-ring. Well, that was supposed to like be like a big washer to hold the tin down, so it wouldn't loosen up and strip out.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I should just like, why don't you just, I weld this thing on there. So like I welded the whole D-ring on to the head itself, like sanded it smooth, and then I, you know, tapped it. So now I had like a 3/4 to an inch of thread rather than a 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
And then the actual cast cover I had on there, I sectioned the difference out. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
like, so it didn't look like it was a big piece of shit sticking off top of it. It was like a sectioned area. That's another thing I did to the motor, I forgot.
I think that's one of the things that, moving forward, of the things that I want to learn how to manipulate and fabricate, is going to require me to start to learn how to like weld aluminum, but also learn how to build up a weld. You know what I mean? That way you can come back and shape it down to what you want it to look like.
Oh, for sure. That's why I love aluminum. It's like because that's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really, but like the more you build it up, it's like easier to shape, you know, and like as opposed to like, I feel like if you're welding steel, you can't feed as much rod into it as you can aluminum, and when somebody gives me a fucking aluminum head where the fins are broke, a lot of times they'll give me the broke fin and like want me to weld it on, and I never do that, like because if you took the fin and put it on and welded it, you're only welding the top. You can't get on the inside and weld it because another fucking fin's below it. So I'll if you see me repair a broke fin, it's because that's all weld.
That's all you.
The whole fin is just like, I'll do a weld, let it cool, and do a weld, let it cool. You know, like it might be like 2 inches. Like those ones going on a push rod, that's nothing but weld. Yeah.
When we were at your shop, you were talking about how you just got set up in this new space, like, and I kind of brought up how like I'm really, you know, interested in these like workspaces of like Japanese makers. And a lot of this comes from, you know, my mentor, Corey from Main Drive Cycle, because he works in a 1-car garage.
Yeah.
He's got a mill, a lathe, a weld table, everything. Every other tool comes out of like a shelf and gets like almost like fixtured to the weld table and then used and then put back up. And it's just so efficient, you know, for a small space. But like, you know, going into your shop, it's a smaller space. Yours is actually bigger than Corey's, but like you also have more machinery in there. And things like that. But what's your take on it? Like
the small spaces?
Yeah.
Like I really like, okay, so I think you mentioned Japan stuff. Like the company I worked at in North Carolina, for 10 years. It was a joint adventure. It was John Deere and Hitachi, right? And so it was half American, half Japanese. Like pretty much long story short, in the 80s, John Deere wanted to get in the construction industry, and instead of just making tractors, they wanted to make like excavators and shit.
Yeah.
So they couldn't compete with Caterpillar, right? And like, but they didn't know how to make the shit, so they needed some like engineering behind that. So and Hitachi, if you go anywhere else in the world,
they're big.
You'll see Hitachi excavators. Like they kind of, the majority of the world, Hitachi makes corners that market of excavators.
Yeah.
But in America, they had a hard time breaking through, so they needed like a name. So they did a joint venture with Deere. So if you'd see like, now they're two separate companies, but for decades, up until recently, if you've seen a Deere excavator, it was Hitachi pretty much designed. It was made in America, but so anyways, working there, I learned a lot about a lot of the like processes were Japanese like influenced, and like Kaizen. You ever heard of that?
I know where you're going with it, but there's a few words in association that are something like like imperfections and forget what some of the. I watched the whole video on it, and I just can't remember the words in Japanese.
Well, Kaizen really means like continuous improvement.
Okay, yeah, that's one of them.
And it's probably a different actual word breakdown of that, but from what I remember, it's just continuous improvement, and it's kind of like everything has a place, like and so like you don't have like, if you don't have a lot to work with, like everything, when you're done with it, put it back, and like label shit, and everything has a place, and if you see something, you just find a way to improve it now, just keep improving it. And it sounds pretty simple, right? But like but working there and practicing that every day, just kind of like that's where I always wanted to be. So, and it was also like lean. They would say stuff about like lean manufacturing, like so less is more a lot of times. So like I would love to have like a shitload of parts and stuff, but I kind of like not having like too much shit, because then it's just too much to keep up with. I like knowing where everything is, and I like keeping it small, because a lot of good stuff comes from that. Like it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's less maintenance. I could really focus on like just staying present on what I'm doing right then. Like I could efficient and like, because eventually I'm not like perfect at anything, but eventually I just like to be like, yo, I built that fucking really efficient chopper in like fucking 3 months or something,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm that'd be sick, right?
Yeah.
But and the only way to do that is
The
for
constant
me to be
improvement,
keep it kind of small.
The constant improvement thing is like definitely. I understand the process of learning. It's something that when I was a kid, I didn't really understand it. Where I don't know if you're this way, but it's like, man, if I could just go back to high school with my understanding of time and effort and the way that I would look at a math book now and be like, all right, everybody in here figured this out, or some of these kids figured it out. They're not special. They just, their mind was able to kind of, focus on it. I was like, well, I'm going to make myself figure this out. Like I have that willpower now.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have it when I was a kid, right?
Same.
And so I understand how to learn. I understand the process. I understand that it takes time, and so I'm able to manage my expectations on learning something. So one of the hardest things, maybe not super hard, but maybe egotistically hard, is like kind of getting to a certain level in one trade and then falling in love with another craft and having to be, just an idiot in it, or just, unskilled, like learning it, making the mistakes that, a lot of people like yourself even probably got to make before the internet existed, the way that we show things that we do now. So it's kind of like just owning up to it, and like, not that I have an ego about it, but knowing that, okay, if I continue to keep trying to weld something, or get my buddies in to let me weld something, eventually I know I'm gonna get it down.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of like skateboarding when I was a kid, because even though I was skating in high school, I had that mentality of like, if I just go push on this skateboard every day, those tricks will come easier. and they did for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't that I just kept trying to ollie or kick flip a forced air. It was that every day I was pushing. I just got way more comfortable on the board.
Yeah.
And it started to kind of be a little more glued to my feet. I'm not bragging saying I was good at it. I'm just saying like I felt the progress in the time that I put in.
No, yeah, I understand. Same. Like I skated growing up, not like it sounds like the same. Not enough to be great, but I was just the people I hung out with. You can see the
progression yourself, though, right?
I moved around a lot when I was a kid, like a lot, but so I never like really had like a consistent like group of friends, right?
Yeah.
So, but everywhere I went, different cities I went, North Carolina and a little bit, and I lived in Colorado for 1 year in high school. That kind of changed my life too, in best ways. Everywhere I went, that's the people I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was just
kind of fell into that groove, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that always, but I always like if I really did it enough times, repetitiveness enough times, I got better and better at it. So like with like welding, that's the same thing. That's just something I fell in love with kind of early enough to where I just like, I mean, I can say that I don't think I'm the best welder in the world, but I mean like, you know
it works.
I feel like I'm fucking one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I'll lose to you, but if there's like some kind of competition you want to do, I'll do it. Dude. You want to go weld some stuff? Like I've welded Inconel, you know, titanium. Those are two of like, I mean, I don't know.
I'm not even. If I can get aluminum, I'll be a happy human. That'll be enough.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a natural progression, though, right?
Yeah.
Aluminum. You do get aluminum, and the next thing you know, or whatever you consider the hard metal. Because I know a lot of people that are really good welders, but they don't like welding stainless. And I literally practiced and learned on stainless.
Yeah.
So I'm a little more comfortable. Not that it's good.
Yeah. I kind of can't stand stainless. Like, not like doing it. I could weld it no problem. But like, it is like it is like a material on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like it. You know, sorry, like for. Even like hardware, like it's like stainless is like really stiff. It's not a metal made for moving.
Yeah,
you know, it's made for like cutting people open and shit and being like sanitary and strong, right? Yeah. It's like it's not supposed to flex and like, you know, so if you like a lot of hardware stainless, if it's like a wheel or brake or something, I won't use it like because it's probably gonna snap at one point, you know, and. It's great for certain things like decoration and shit, but
not structural.
Yeah, I mean it's strong, but like, you know, like steel.
I heard that like the heat cycles that it takes can make it very brittle.
Yeah, so. And I mean same thing with chromoly. Like chromoly is awesome, but chromoly by itself is without heat treating is just steel. You know? It's just pretty much just steel, like the number of it, like the whatever the, you know, they like 70S is like, you know, carbon steel. Yeah. And I think like 80S is chromoly. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. And so it's not much different than steel. Mm-hmm. But so like when you see somebody make a frame out of like chromoly, like I've never seen it heat treated. Most time when you heat treat something, it moves, you know, and you have to do machining afterwards. Mm-hmm. But and I don't know how Ducati and people make them, but like a chopper, like I don't know, it's like, you know, I'm kind of scared to do it, you know.
True.
Yeah, same thing with aluminum. If you made a frame out of aluminum, you would need to go heat treat it. You know, you like the best thing to make a chopper frame out of is plain ass steel, because it's not as heavy as stainless. It's heavier than aluminum, but it's like it's literally carbon steel flexes and gives and moves, you know, and it takes heat pretty well. Mm-hmm. And that's why, you know, I mean, these big heavy Harley frames, they just made them out of steel because it was perfect, you know, and it's cheap, you know. It's not cheap because cheap as in like no one wants it.
Yeah.
It's cheap because decades ago we were like, yo, this stuff's awesome. Let's find a way to make it cheap.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, it's the best. It's overall the best thing we should use for stuff.
Yeah.
So let's find a way to make it cheap. And then they found a way to make it cheap, and then so we use it. You know, so just use it. You know, you ain't gotta have a stainless frame. Just have a metal frame. You know?
Yeah.
But
so when you started, like, how long ago was it when you started messing with casting things and playing with that kind of aspect of
like me casting stuff myself?
Well, just you or just getting into like wanting to have things made that way. It seems like like me coming from more modern things and modern just bikes in general. When I think about a part that I wanted to have made, I never would have thought of it being casted, you know, until like recently when I met, you know, I've known Action Jackson for a while. And he's got a 3D metal printer now. You know, he does crazy shit.
I got one.
You do? Mm-hmm. Fuck.
Yeah. But I use it for like patterns, you know. But I don't know. So I think with casting, with me, it's like I really like. I'm a big history buff, right? Mm-hmm. Like especially American history. I love I've always loved American history. Before I was in choppers, I was like my whole back piece is like a World War II mural.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I'd say favorite war?
Favorite time in America is like, you know, the Industrial Revolution and you know, the war and everything that came after it.
But the way this country turned into a manufacturing powerhouse too, right, during the World War II.
Yeah, that's and we were kind of all like. And back then everyone was like, yeah, we like it. We like America. We like, you know, and I mean, there's a lot I don't like about it, but I still like it a lot. I'm still pretty stoked on it, you know? And, but that time, for me, it seems like there was a lot of like shitty stuff going on, but everyone seemed pretty stoked on the stuff that was happening, right?
But it birthed like that era birthed so much culture out of that. Like
exactly. That's why, back to answer your question, and that's why the casting and all that stuff, that's kind of that era, you know, like, and for a while after it, that's still the world I live in. Like, I don't want to like, I think one day I'll own a knucklehead whenever I have like 3 other bikes that are reliable. I don't have to ride this thing all the time because it's probably going to break. But, you know, that's how they were making shit. Yeah. You know, they were, that's what, they were like, we need to make some engine cases. This is how we do it, you know? And then eventually they got better at it and they would do like injection molds and casting and stuff. That was more efficient and, probably definitely stronger, you know? But, just like you're saying, that stuff has more of like a soul to it. Yeah. You know, like, more of a history to it, and that's what I fuck with. That's what I like. You know, it's why I like America. I like Harleys for that. But I like Japanese and German stuff as well too. They did some cool shit.
Yeah, it's funny that those are the 2 main people we fought against, but they're also like the 2 like cultures that produce the most high end. Yeah. You know, almost
Italy
like
too. They did some solid shit.
Italy, but wasn't Swedish stuff like very, or was it Swedish is Switzerland?
Both of them. Yeah. Yeah. Like the Swiss and the Swiss are
it's more watches and like fine tuned.
But I watched like a YouTube video like the other day I went down a rabbit hole, a bunch of them actually about like watchmaking. You know, and it was and I don't know all the watchmakers names and stuff, but I think this one was like Paddock, you know? Is that how you say it?
Probably. I'm not hip to a lot of it.
Whatever it was, the dude is still alive and he's like fucking like 180, right? And but he hand makes these watches and it would take him like a year to make it, and he would get like an obscene amount for one of these watches, as he should, you know. But I watched like it didn't show like everything he was doing because that would probably take forever. But
a year and a half.
But just the history, but just the history of like this guy, I was all in, loved it. He and he looked like an average crusty dude. Like I think he had like black teeth and like but he's getting paid like $200,000 for a watch or something.
Yeah, but at the same time, you would think if he's taking that kind of time to make one, unless he's doing multiple ones at a time, like, could you imagine if you could make $200,000 on one thing you could make and spend a year?
I can't.
And it's just like, okay, well, all I got to do this year, and it's almost weird because
I don't know if that's the number he made,
yeah.
But I remember
that whole scenario was like opening up like a wormhole in my head, basically.
Yeah,
it's like if you could spend a year just building one thing, like just say one chopper, but it's $200,000. Yeah, we're giving you $200,000 so you can live, do your thing, blah blah blah, and all you do is make this one bike, all the parts separate, blah blah blah. Like I wonder if like I'm the same person at the beginning of the year that's still in love with this idea at the end of the year. Like it might be too long of a project for me to stay in the same vein that I started on.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really. I guess I'd have to be there to like say.
Yeah, I mean,
but I would.
It's like if you won the lottery kind of thing.
Yeah, I think if you like. When I watch, one of the things I liked about watching that dude is that I could tell that he'd never stopped loving doing this. He's nothing else he'd rather be doing, and that was kind of cool. So I don't know if somebody out there wants to pay me obscene amount to build one chopper a year, sure I'll do it, dude. But it'd have to be like a pretty obscene amount because I don't know that I really want to build people bikes, I want to build choppers and keep them really.
Yeah, don't we all?
But sorry, am I hitting this thing?
I don't know. We'll see at the end. We'll see when the video comes out.
I want to build them and keep them, or if like someone, I think it'd be cool if someone like seen it after the fact and was like, yo, I gotta have that, whatever it takes. But like.
Yeah.
But if like someone wanted me to build them a watch and they want to design it, I don't really want to do that.
What's your thoughts on that? Because I just literally finished like one of the first builds I've taken in for a customer, like literally a week from last Friday. Today's Monday, so a week from last Friday, he picked it up, and it was a 6-month-ish build, but like an 8 month like conversation to final product, right? And I enjoyed a lot of it, but there was a weird thing at the end where like now it's leaving, and of course there was a lot of things he wanted. So I was building around his parameters.
Yeah.
And not that it was like, it wasn't so much that like it made me not enjoy it, but there is that moment sometimes where you're like, I would probably do this here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is like the thing that he wanted. This was like one of his, 5 or 10 things that like was needed on the bike,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like my thoughts on like doing that. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. I have a hard time sometimes doing my own thing, and what I love about painting a bike for a customer is that they give me some direction and they give me some kind of lane to stay in.
Yeah.
And then the creativeness in that lane is a little bit easier to maintain all the ideas, as opposed to if it's like. You do whatever you want. You're looking at every possibility, and it takes a while to start narrowing it down and figure out what lane you're going to try to go down.
I think, that sounds ideal. Like I'm not a painter, but if I was painting something, I would want them to give me like some direction.
Yeah.
And then and one thing is not harder than the other because it's all has to come together. I'm not a painter, and I would have a hard time if I just went out there and tried to paint a chopper right now. Yeah. But I think like if someone wanted to unload a bunch of ideas on a chopper on me, it might be hard for me to keep up with that and do it, efficient, right? So like when I build a bike, like when I've done it for the shows and stuff, I already know what I want to do.
Okay.
And it's going to change a little bit along the way. Like I'm going to do something and be like, I think actually that this is looking good. I'm going to go this route, right? But if someone if someone was there always, then I I might get a little lost. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it might make it like
It's kind of like, would you not like? All right, there's said guy who maybe he has a panhead or a shovel or Evo, whatever the bike power plant's going to be, and he wants to build a bike. It's almost like if you can just let him say, okay, well, what style of bike do you want to? You want more tall bike, short bike, those kind of things, and then let the rest kind of come together. Like ask vague questions so that you can be the one that chisel out the idea instead of ask specific questions that now those ideas are always already chiseled out, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be more ideal as like taking on a bike build so that you still feel like you're actually like
as long as both of y'all both of y'all stay there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Then it's great. Like right now it's funny because like I see a lot of like on social media I see a lot of people and I don't know him directly, but he seems alright. But I see a lot of people hating on Jason Momoa and stuff right now. And I don't know him, but I think what he's doing, I think it was kind of tight, like he seems, I mean, I could never understand that dude's life, because, I mean, he's like a giant
movie star,
right? But he's obviously influenced by people's art form, whether someone thinks it's art form or not, like building choppers or restoring old Harleys and shit, enough to where I watched that one episode and he was like, he hit up these dudes, some of them he knew, some he didn't, and he was put on to them by people, and he's like, yo, just do this, and they were like, and he's like, I wanted you to just do this, go be wild, right? And then they did it, I think that's kind of sick,
That dude's bringing a lot of light to this culture, to a mainstream thing. And I think that we're going to see that trickle down. I know that's a trigger word for some people when we're talking about economy, but we're going to see all that influence start to trickle down into more and more generations. Like you said, you were 40, right?
Yeah.
So
no, it's all good.
Like I'm 43, and we're all like, we got to hope that there's like 20-year-olds or 15-year-olds that were like you whenever, when you discovered that. And so finding ways to get it in, Tay from Storm Riders, we talked about this on a podcast we did together this year, and he goes, well, believe it or not, man, some kids seeing a chopper for the first time on TikTok. And I was like, fuck, I didn't even think about that. Like, not that I want to get on there and start doing TikTok trends, but how like there might be some dude that's like didn't like the fact that, I'm sure there's some dude that didn't like the fact that Motorcycle Mania was on TV, kind of showing the world of fabrication and stuff to the mass public, right?
Yeah. I didn't think about it like that, but for sure.
But I mean, definitely. You've been around enough old heads that were like, oh, we don't fucking talk
about
this.
Well, I know they didn't like it because I didn't really care for, when I was a kid, I didn't really care for Orange County, because I was like, these dudes are just trying to cash in on like West Coast choppers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've met people younger than me that's how they got into it. You know what I mean? But they're not out there building like,
I think that
Orange County chopper bikes. They're building sick bikes, but that's the first time they seen it, right?
Yeah, so it wasn't. I do kind of wonder though if like they see it that way. I think there's a lot of talented people that worked through the early days and the later days of Orange County choppers, but like I like to have fun. I like to be a little silly, but the work that I do, I take it very seriously because it's a part of my legacy, and I don't think that I would be stoked if my job was to make something look like a spider or whatever. Like, you think about building a bike, whether it's something you're doing, realistically, it's 6 months of your life. Let's just stamp it at that. That's a percentage, and that's something that you're making and you're going to put out into the world. That's going to be a part of what you've put into the world, and I don't really want it to be jokes, like stuff that people aren't gonna. All this sounds like I'm looking for validation for somebody, but what I'm getting at is I don't want to do stuff that I'm not proud of, And I don't think a lot of those dudes were proud of the bikes that were coming out of their maybe they're proud that they figured out how to do that dumbass bike.
Yeah.
But they're not like, you know what, fucking, like, I don't know anybody that has like a West Coast chopper is like their top 5 bikes they wish they could own that somebody ever built.
Like the dudes that, I mean, the bikes that people are stoked to have now, at least, but it's the world I'm seeing, you know, is like survivor bikes. And that's cool because like that person who built that bike, whoever that fucking guy was that built that survivor bike, you know, like this person that bought it and found it, they love that history of it, you know. But that guy was just doing him.
Yeah.
He probably didn't have a customer. He was just doing him. He was, I mean, I could be wrong, but unless it was like Arlen Ness or something, right?
Yeah.
But like that dude was just building this bike, whatever he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And then this is where it's at now. And that's like where I'd like to be is like, you don't have to like my stuff or buy it, whatever, but I just really, you know, like I think the Survivor stuff is cool and like Survivor parts you throw on your bike and stuff. I know it's not like really something I've ever done. Not saying I won't do it, but I got into choppers to like fabricate.
Yeah.
Like
to make
a high end like fabrication, or at least be. I make it sound like I think my shit's like high end, but like I try to make it like fucking nice, right? And it kind of, that's what was cool about that time period is that like the only good thing about it is that they were trying to make one-off stuff, you know, whether it was like a bucket of billet shit, they were just making one-off stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where I'd like to get back to is like, it'd be cool if people were back into like custom one-off choppers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to go there though, because like everyone wants the crackle paint, but...
yeah, well, I mean, I think that, the shit's going in waves, right? We're seeing so much stuff from our childhood is now popular, right? So,
I think it could go back there, dude, because you talk about like kids and stuff, like,
like for instance, we were talking earlier, I was telling you about my son getting the film camera. Mm-hmm. Well, then, my wife takes him to, every once in a while when he comes over, she'll just say, hey, we're going to go shopping. And he, not knowing shit about it, like, wanted one of those West Coast chopper shirts. He saw it at the store. He's like, I don't know what that is, but it looks badass.
Yeah.
And then he got it, and I'm like, you know what that is, right? And he goes, no, I just liked it. He goes, it's chopper stuff. It's these kind of bikes. And I was like, and I got books from Jesse. I was like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden now, he's like, that's kind of cool now.
Yeah. Well, I hope if it goes back to that, I hope it doesn't go back to like
billet stuff, big billet choppers.
That like and giant like back tires, because like I like a good sized back tire. But if it's if we're talking about 350 or some shit, dude, like I don't know if that's an actual one they did.
360 was one they did.
It's 360. That's nuts. If we get to that, then like I think I gotta. I don't know. I'm gonna get into like back into Porsches or something. Because like I'll be like, yo, I've totally missed the crackle paint days, I guess.
Yeah, you're gonna be talking about, well, back in our day we used to do this, but it's actually from back in another day it was like that, right? But no, I think that I think that like a lot of the period correct or vintage or antique chopper stuff, there's like this, like you're saying, you're talking about survivor bikes, you're talking about trying to acquire these old parts and put them on your bike or repurpose them or build something the way that it was built in the 60s and early 70s, right? But I think that there's another wave of people, and I think I'm maybe a part of that wave that like I know for sure I have a lot of respect for this entire culture over the last 20 years that's built up the Born Frees, the Mama Trides, the blog days and all these things. Like I fucking love it. Have nothing but so much respect for all the makers of it in the early days into now. But also like as like a creative myself, I want to take the things I love about that and add it to the things that I also love about other ones and make this fusion of like whatever, it's what I am, right?
Exactly. I mean, same. You're saying like a little bit of like both worlds, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just like all the things that inspire me, I'm trying to make things that I feel like I love from everything, but the hard part is to fuse them and make them look like they go together.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So I like the vintage stuff. I'm very much into it. I'm also, we were talking earlier off air that like surprisingly, and I don't know where this came from because I did not enjoy it while I lived it, but I really like 80s styling, early 90s styling.
Yeah. So I think I don't have the answer to that, but what I like, I think about that often, and what I like to, and that's kind of what's always in the back of my head whenever I'm like doing like this part of the bike I'm trying to fabricate, right? Mm-hmm. I'll do I think like there's something I see that like I wouldn't say I don't like it on this Harley part, you know, because what I like is like the shit Harley made, because what was cool about choppers in the history was like the 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, they were just cutting up Harley parts or making them better or modifying them.
Yeah.
That's the shit I like. But with me, I try to make it, I really like it when it's like, most people don't even notice it. You know, they just like this fucking bike. Somebody out there?
No, just someone's walking by. So.
They don't know why. They see it, at least this is the way I think.
Yeah.
It's what's going on. They see it and they don't know fucking why they like this bike so much, but this bike looks sick, you know? But there's so much on it that like, you're like, maybe Harley made it that way.
Yeah.
Like on.
I didn't know Harley made that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you find out it's been modified to make it work.
Like on that first bike I built, I really like the 35 millimeter front ends. Yeah. Because they're like a dime a dozen, and like it's kind of like a front end that.
Most people pull them off.
Yeah,
put a 39 on.
Yeah, they put a 39 on, or they
41.
Or they want to go vintage, they put like a 33 on, you know, and I love all that too. But the 35's like, I kind of like the imperfectness of it and trying to make it cooler.
Yeah.
So, especially the early 35 dual disc, because it had the disc was 10 inches instead of like 11 and a half.
Oh, smaller disc.
So it's cool that it's a little bit smaller. So if you put a big wheel on there, people might not notice that this thing's smaller because it's just a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But it looks cool because you see more wheel. And then also the calipers on the dual disc, they're not like sitting hanging off the slider. They're
you had them on. Was it the panhead or? Yeah, I saw them on the panhead.
I love that because they like hug the lowers like really, or the fucking
lower fork legs.
Yeah, the lower fork legs.
Yeah, just lowers is what we.
Yeah, the lowers, like they like hug them like real tight, right? They sit up on them instead of offset like 39s. Then other ones came, right, or the big Brimbos like fucking FXRs ones just hanging off, which that has its place, is cool, but it's not really my. I like the aesthetics of it. Well, on those brakes, they had like a little, like in the casting, it had like a little circle inlay on it, and they would put a sticker in there that said like Harley Davidson. It was just a sticker, and like decades went by, the stickers fell out, and it's just a circle there. Yeah. Well, then I seen like the Harley Brembo brakes where they'd have a bar and shield like part of it in the casting, or the however they made the Brembo ones. And so I got my buddy Ty to machine like a bar and shield coin, and then I cleaned up these calipers and like welded it in and then sanded it smooth, and it looked like it came that way. And the front end's going at an angle. Like I had to position the bar and shield offset so if you're looking at the bike going that road, it's like straight.
Straight, yeah.
And just that, like. Most people didn't. I didn't think most people noticed it, Yeah. But and then I was confirmed one time with the guy that bought that bike. I was showing him. He was like, "What all did you do on it?" And I was telling him what I did, and with that I pointed out, and he was like, "I had no idea. I thought that was Harley did it, And other people told me stuff like that before, and that's like the biggest compliment you can give me is like you're like, I didn't even notice that was touched.
Yeah.
So is that to your point?
No, it is 100%. What I think is, look, like you could also attest to this. Like if you think about Born Free for the last 12 years or so, 10, 12 years, you've had also an FXR and a Dyna and now Performance Bagger element to it through San Diego Customs, FXR Division, these other brands that brings that there. And those chopper-centric events have always kind of drawn a lot of the dudes from the performance culture as well to it, right? Your Dyna guys, your FXR guys. So what I think is probably going to be a thing in it is people that are used to seeing vintage choppers, but also FXRs and Dynas in this melting pot of maybe, I hate and don't really want to coin this term on, it's already being said, but like the performance chopper thing. But I think it's like, I don't think that people are going to be wanting to go with the super fat tires. I think you might start seeing more like my wheel, like it's a 4 1/4. You might start seeing more of like FXR wheels, things like that being on the bikes. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to see 200 wide rear tires. And so like keeping like almost like a vintage aesthetic stance silhouette, but adding newer parts to it. But also, like, what I dig is, like, kind of what you're talking about. Like, I don't necessarily want to put a set of radial, monoblock radial Brimbos that say Brembo down the side on an old chopper. Like, that old PM caliper just fits the older vibe, you know?
For sure.
So, but there's already dudes that are putting, like, it's to them, that's going to be the easy, like, transition, throw all the new shit on. To me, I'm wanting to learn more about the older parts and find out which ones were the performance versions of the parts from the 90s or 80s or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. That's the stuff I like the most is like what you're talking about, like the vintage style of it. But as long as it's like not stock, like it's cool, like to me, like I can appreciate it at least, even if it's not like, even if it's something I'm not gonna ever do.
Yeah.
But like And then, but also I don't really like to your point, I don't really like on bikes, a chopper I build, like any like names, I don't want it to say any like, I don't want it to say anything unless it says Harley on it. Like I don't really want it to say anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Unless like maybe my name's on it or something, but not even then, man. Like like,
I try to keep my branding to a minimal, I had, it says Fast Life on the bottom of my tank, and it says Fast Life on the rear fender. And I only did on the rear fender because I felt like they needed something there. But I don't know.
Yeah, on those wheels I put like NU. I mean, sorry, NM.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the first ones I put like, I can't remember, but I think it was like. Yeah, NUM or something. But the 9 I didn't. I just have the like size of it on there.
Yeah.
Like raised on it.
We were kind of talking about the casted stuff earlier, but when you do these, like, what prompted you to do the 21 9-spoke cast wheels? Like, what was that birth from?
Oh, so when I built the first bike. Right. Yeah. Well, I've always, I've always liked, my favorite wheel combo is 21-18.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to just do that on everything.
Yeah.
Unless it's FXR, then I like 19-16.
Well, I like 8. Me and my buddy Corey are always 18 rears on everything, but you can go 19 to 21 in the front.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is.
But like choppers, just.
Well, I guess if it's an old wheel, 16s look good on there too, depending on the tire.
Oh yeah, like 21-18. Yeah, I just like the way it looks. And I see, even like I've seen some 21-19s. I don't really like that. Then 21-16. It's all right. Yeah. But just for me, it may change, man. Who knows? But as of right now, that's what I like. So when I would build bikes, I've always liked mag wheels more. Just always like it's like, all spoke wheels are spoked wheels. They all look the same, and, but even if it's radial lace, it's still a spoke wheel. But mag wheels, they had some history, like some details, and then casting shit I always liked, like we talked about. But there was only one real company that made like a 21 like that. back then. I mean, yeah, like that I know of, like the type of wheel I want, like a casted, like old sand casted type wheel, and that was like the Kim Tab ones. Is that what I'm talking about? They're called. And when I was building that bike, first off, if you find one of those, they're quite expensive.
Yeah.
But also, Oliver had already done a few bikes like that, and not saying he's the only one that can do that, but that was kind of like his thing. And I was doing a bike for the show, and I'm like, I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's like it's kind of his thing, So I just didn't. So that was just a thought I had. I was like, well, I'm just gonna do spoked wheels. Everything else I'm just gonna do spoked wheels, and then the that bike, I built that bike, and then this dude asked me to build him a 21 9-spoke, like hand, and I just handmade this wheel. Like I made fixturing for it. I welded a hub on. I like cut it out of a blank 21. Like hand machined it on my mill.
I was gonna say, how did you get the hub, like the wheel hub of a 21? Like, what'd you use for that?
Oh, I cut up a 19, stock 19, and then I went through. I spent so much time on this thing. Like originally I hit up this dude that had an EDM machine. I was gonna get him to slice it like a fucking pepperoni down the center, and I was just gonna like. I mean, this is just like anyone listening to this might be like, that's a fucking stupid idea. But I'm just telling you, this is how I work. I'm gonna try this, see if this works, and it doesn't work or whatever, But I was trying to figure it out, and I spent a lot of time, and then that wasn't gonna work. So then I cut up the center hub of a 9-spoke, and I cut it like a pepperoni in the middle on my lathe, because that's about the throw I could have on the lathe. I couldn't throw the whole wheel. I could only throw the center, and then I made fixturing to mount the bearings, and I welded it to the wheel, and that shit moves, and it's like, it wasn't like, it was more for show than it was like an actual functioning wheel.
Yeah.
But doing that, I got a lot of people like hit me up about it, and it was pretty fun to do. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it's like one of the probably things I had the most fun fabricating.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hit me up about it, and I was like, so next year I do Born Free, I'm gonna try to make a wheel. So I started talking to people, and there's this old timer that's been in the motorcycle world in LA since like the fucking 60s, right?
Yeah.
And he still has a shop in Linwood, and super great dude. And he I talked to him a lot and a couple other people, and eventually I found a shop that would help me like make a pattern for these wheels I want to make, and then I found a foundry I like dealing with, and then I made those wheels, and I have my friend that helped me make those coins. I talked to him about machining them for me. And like I hit him up, like when he's one of the first people I hit up. I was like, I'm thinking about doing this, and I have all this lined up. But if I pull the trigger on it, would you be into helping me machine this? And he was down, and he's been like a huge help.
How complicated is it to take it from its sand-casted form to a finished product? Your lip on the outside, what about on the inside? Is that all having to get machined?
Yeah. All of it. So it's like, man, it's
how do you machine that inside lip? Is that like a massive lathe that has enough of a like space and you're grooving in it or something? Or
well, I don't know how they did it back in the day, but if you look at the old ones, you can see machine marks on them, like they cut it with something. But they probably, but like back in the day, no matter what they were making, whether it was cases or wheels or whatever, or stamping a big part, they had designated machines made just to do that shit.
Yeah.
So they probably had they probably didn't use a lathe, they probably didn't use a mill, they probably used like a machine they made just to cut wheels, and that's what it did, it fucking cut wheels, and it was efficient. Well, that shit don't exist anymore, so we got to figure out what we got. So like it took a while. I worked on that wheel for like over a year, and just kind of figuring out while I was doing other shit. And then but you when you make the pattern for the when you're making the pattern for the for casting with the foundry, you got to figure out the shrinkage and everything, is because all metal shrinks when you cast it. And they all have a different shrink rate. Like some shrink more than others, and so you have to keep in consideration that for machining, but also like whatever the visual of the wheel is, you don't want to like it to shrink too much, and the now you took away that it's a fucking 21. Now it looks like a.
So when you're casting something, is it shrinking? I mean, how do you control the shrink? Because would one area shrink more than the other, or is it going to be a natural?
It's going to be different every time.
Yeah,
but it's going to be very similar, But when you would make your pattern, you'd make it big enough to compensate for any defects,
so
right?
that as you're machining it back down to a finished.
But like the process I do is that I have the masters or whatever, and then I get it the foundry. We cast it, and then I heat treat it. And when you heat treat it, it moves. You have to straighten it, and then you machine it. So, because you don't have to heat treat stuff, but wheels, yeah, you should definitely heat treat some wheels, because aluminum's like is different than a lot of metals. Like you don't have to heat treat aluminum because it has like a aging life. Like if you casted a wheel. And I don't know what that aging life is because it differs, but if you let it sit out for like a couple years or something, it'll harden naturally. It just hardens naturally, right? But if you want to make it, but when you first cast aluminum, it's soft, and like you can see it pre-heat treating and post-heat treating that it's kind of a different color. It feels different. It's like soft. I mean, you can't like fucking push in and it's soft, but
yeah,
you mess with it enough, but then when you heat treat it, it moves and warps. So then what I do is I cast it, heat treat it, straighten it, and then machine it. And then depending on how I'm gonna paint it or chrome it, then I'll clean it up all myself.
Damn.
At least that's what I do. It's like that's why if the wheels I'm making, I'm not trying to mass produce them. I don't really want to do that. I want to just do a limited run. I like doing that limited run of stuff, and then moving on to something else.
Think about how much those are going to be worth in like 20 years. Let's just say over the course of, I don't know, like what your idea is, but let's just say you made, for shits and giggles, 100 wheels over the course of time.
Yeah.
Dude.
Maybe.
That's going to be crazy.
That'd be cool. I don't know. I think more people would do it eventually, though,
Yeah, but then there's going to be I want the one with the NU on, or the NM on it.
Yeah.
Or the NU is worth more because it was the first one,
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you're doing it the hard way. Most people would just, run a CNC program and then maybe take a nailer or whatever and try to put some pits in the aluminum to age it or give it that texture, But
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's cool, and I can't remember if you wanted to talk about the other part of that.
Oh yeah, sure, I will. The also with the wheels is that I don't know if we talked about it, but did we talk about how the first so the 9-spoke? I think in your video you talked about it, but the 9-spoke, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the wheel that Harley might have produced the longest. It was from fucking, I want to say 78 or 79 till 90s at least, maybe later. But the first ones were AMF, and they have those are my favorite. They say AMF on it, and it's raised letter, and it's you can see the parting line on it still. That it's sandcasted.
Yeah.
It's a really, whatever they were doing, they had it figured out. Say what you will about AMF, but those wheels are nice, like that. But you can tell they're sandcasted. They got a parting line on them. But they're thicker than the 9-spokes later. The 21 I modeled after that. I was trying to go for more of that look, you know, because if I wanted to go after the 90s 9-spokes, then you know, I'd have to really, it'd be even longer than what I'm doing now, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like and right now I'm working on a rear wheel to match it. Yeah, like I don't know how long it's gonna take to, you know, come out. Like, but you know, I'm hoping, you know, this year sooner than later. But it's kind of like how the 19, because the 9-spokes, they made 16s, 18s, and 19s. They never made a 21. That's why they never made a 21 front wheel, so I wanted to try to make one that didn't exist, right? And then the rear, the widest they made was like 2.5 on an 18, and they made 3 on 16. And I like the way those look more, the width of the 16 more than the width of the 18.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm just trying to combine the two of those, you know, to have that look, but like an 18.
Could you take one of the 18-inch wheels and this is my dumb brain, could you take an 18 wheel and somehow slice it in the middle and just widen it?
You can,
for like the aspect of like if you were to do that and then re-weld it, finish it all out the way it's supposed to, and then have your cast, or would you need to go the same process you're doing on the 21 where you're re-looping it and all that kind of stuff?
You can do that, and I know a guy that can do it, and I've used him, and it's amazing what he does, and I won't say anything else about that guy because you know, like I know, because I promised someone I wouldn't. Anyways, that there's nothing wrong with that. That's if you're.
I'm just thinking about for you to make this next production wheel.
There's nothing wrong with that if you're doing a custom. If you're doing a custom bike, that's perfect to do that. You know, one off. But if you're wanting to make like a limited like batch of like 20, 25 wheels or whatever, I would just want it. It's just it would be easier and more efficient just to figure it out, you know, and do it. Because all I got to do is kind of adjust what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
You know, if like someone else wanted to jump in it right now, they'd have to like start from scratch. But like I've kind of already got to this point that I think it's going to be like easier, you know. Mm-hmm. Like I drew up the 21. I did a CAD model for the half of it, for the one half of it, and just mirrored that for the other side, and that's more than what I did on the first one. The first one I didn't do like any design. The 9-spoke is like all me, you know, and it's fun like that. It was super fun, like just the design aspect of it.
Yeah,
I can't wait to do it again. Really,
I think that's kind of like when you were talking about it, because you know me, that's what I would want, a matching rear, but in 18, because that's kind of that's what I like. I could run an 18, 19 front on a bike, like on an FXR or something, but dude, they would kill in just even the FXR market. People wanted to put a 9-spoke, 18-inch rear that matched the rear wheel of it like normal, like width.
That's too is like I'm totally cool with people doing like putting on FXR and stuff, because I love FXR is the best bike Harley ever made. I think that's my daily. I love it, right? But I like choppers the most, and I want to see them on choppers more than anything, you know. So I want to see them on. So if you're talking about the kids, if the kids like fucking cast 21 wheels, I want to see them on choppers.
Hell yeah.
And then it probably would do good on FXRs. But I like I said, I like doing like limited runs and stuff. Yeah. And like I'd like to. I don't want to like.
It's not about just making a lot of money. It's about like making some.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make money.
Yeah,
like, so I keep doing it. But yeah, like I want to don't get me wrong, I want to make money, but so I keep doing it. But I really like having control of it all enough to where I can. And if it got to where I was like pumping out wheels, then I would need to hire people and nothing against people. I really like doing this.
Yeah, yourself.
Myself. I really like. I mean, I'm not doing it myself, because like I mentioned, my buddy Ty.
Yeah, but you know, each one of those wheels,
Yeah.
you did something on it. Like
Exactly.
whether it is like the machinist
Yeah.
shop doing something in the foundry, and you're finishing it all out. So you're still making that ready.
And those wheels, like, the best thing about it is it's helped me, and I haven't sold an obscene amount of them, but I've sold enough to where it's helped me like make stuff handmade for myself and others, you know. Like it's helped me, like, because I was like not doing anything. I build bikes for myself. I was just fixing people's cases and paying my bills, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then and that was great because I'm not complaining. I work for myself now. It hasn't been like fucking peaches and cream and shit, but like it's pretty sick. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's, you do too.
We all
right?
trade off all the luxuries that most people don't feel like are luxuries when they have a normal job.
Yeah.
We trade it off for like just ownership of every moment of our day.
Yeah. And
you know.
And exactly. And then the wheels have just helped me like you know, cushion that up to where I can like do more shit for myself and because that's all I want to do is make shit with my hands. I want to like fabricate stuff and you know, and help my chick out with her business.
Yeah.
You know, but I still want to be a big part of making those wheels. You know, I want to like oversee it and be a part of it. And then like, if I just was like subbing it out to somebody entirely, then it doesn't feel like it's mine anymore.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I wouldn't say that I haven't never really thought about wanting to make hard parts for our brand, you know, like to sell. I don't know a lot of the manufacturing processes. I don't CNC. I don't do any of that stuff. So, but there's also not anything like I would want to do what you're doing first. I would want to hand make one-off parts and then get to a point of going, you know what, this would be kind of cool to make, you know, and then whether it's cast it or, you know, billet or something like that, like go from there. But, you know, it's not really my focus of things. I want to learn how to make it though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I really want to mass produce anything.
Yeah, same. I like it would require like too much future for me. You know what I mean? Like I try not to think about the future too much. Like, it's impossible not to because if you don't, then you get nothing done. But like I really like being all like philosophical or some shit right now. But I really like it helps me like if I focus on just staying as present as possible, right?
Yeah.
And I know that like
well, thinking of the future is like it's the nature of expectations. You're thinking of what it could be or what it should be, what you want it to be.
Yeah. And
staying present is more appreciation.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. It's not real. The future's not real. The past isn't real. You know, I mean, I guess it happened, but like right now, this is tight. Like right now, I'm having a great time talking about choppers.
Yeah.
You know, like this is what I love, right? This is like, I'd be stoked if like I just did this. I don't know. I can't say I'd be stoked if I did this for the rest of my life, but right now I know that like you came by the shop, I was having a good time working on like taping off these wheels that I'm gonna have painted or paint. You know, like that's fucking fun. And whenever if I could just do more of that, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is not much like choppers, hanging with my chick, my dog, even though he was mean to you.
Yeah.
He's pretty sick. Like, you know, that's...
He just doesn't like people from Texas, I think is what it is.
No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. He's from he's a rescue dog. He's like mostly Chihuahua. So he's from Mexico probably. So he's probably, he's pretty close to Texas. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, like, maybe, I don't know. Like, it's just, he seemed like he just wanted me.
Yeah.
But no, he's cool.
Well, he doesn't like eye contact, and he's just scared of dudes.
Yeah.
You know, besides me, and a couple people he knew as like a puppy and shit. But I don't know. He's great, man. He did like I had but he's still a sweetheart, man. Cause like probably my oldest LA friend, like one of the few people I still keep in touch with like often. He had a dog with him all the time. His name, Dre, like his handle, IG handle is like Alphabet or some shit like that.
I don't.
And he like one of my closest friends, but he had this dog with him all the time that looked like his name is Newt, and just looked like the dog Dre should have, just solid black. And Dre's not black, he's just like fucking black metal, like crusty, good, but he's a great dude. He had this dog with him always, and when the dog passed away, he was like super upset, And normally my dog, when he'd see Dre, would be like a dickhead to him, but he could tell Dre was upset by his dog, and he went up to him and was like, "Hey, dude, you could pet me and stuff. I'm sorry, And I was like, I always remember that moment.
They do
I was
sense
like,
that stuff.
I was like, he knew that like he felt bad about his dog and stuff, dude.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I just, like, I want to be able, sometimes, like, today we started talking and hanging out. We started talking about stuff that we should probably say on the podcast. And if I don't get this camera rolling and get us going soon, then, yeah, a lot of those things will get said, and it feels weird to talk about it again. So part of me wanted to just get this done. And not done, like I wanted to rush it, but, like, get it going.
Yeah, I get you.
And also, like, you have a lot of stuff going on at the shop still. You got quite a bit to do, and it's Monday, and you need to have it done by Friday or Saturday. For sure, Friday.
Yeah, I gotta be there. I don't gotta be, but I'm trying to be there. Because I'm not building a bike for the show this year, but I'm still trying to like show some wheels and stuff, and like.
So do you set up a booth up there, or what do you do?
I normally don't on the years I don't do it, but I'm doing it this year, and but it'd be cool to like see some. I'm looking forward to seeing some people that I don't normally get to see, and like that too is like I used to like party more, but I'm like sober now. I haven't drank in like I quit drinking like 2 years ago, and with that I find that I didn't like kind of stop socializing as much, and so I'd like to start going to like more fucking swap meets, and I've been doing that, like the LA swap meet.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun. Like,
I feel like I've met so many people in the chopper scene and motorcycles in general that are sober, and a lot of them still are very social. They're very out there, but I think they're at a point where they trust themselves around, alcohol or whatever it is that their vice was. But yeah, like all of them that I know, like when the dudes start drinking a lot, all right, guys, we'll catch y'all later. You know what I mean? Like,
it wasn't really that with me. I think it was like I feel like I stopped getting the calls, I stopped getting hit up, like, cause like I'm not like I'm not. Maybe they think I don't want to go or whatever, and then but also like it sounds like I'm like being sad and complaining, I really like, but I've also really been like focusing on work.
Yeah. The
last couple years especially, I've been working almost every day, like because it's been fun.
I've entertained the sober thing. I understand all the benefits, and honestly, like where I'm at, the weight that I'm at right now, all this stuff is like stuff that if I stop drinking, I could stay and stick to diet, workout, all the other things. Mm-hmm. The one thing that's really starting to really push me the direction of, like just cutting alcohol out, for me, that's what the problem is, or that's what the vice is my mental clarity.
Yeah.
That, like, I used to be able to drink and still go fucking create, design, and just get after it. And now I just find myself in more of a procrastination stages a lot more than normal. I feel like when you're a creative person, it's not so much procrastination. It's just like visualizing, like getting your mind to the point of like, okay, what is the thing? What is that? And sometimes it's frustrating. Like I always tell people, especially when in the paint world, it's like, it's not like a switch that I just turn on and go out there and fucking rip a badass design on a paint job or whatever, or create something.
Yeah.
Sometimes I said, all right, I'm gonna sit down tonight and sketch some ideas, and it just fucking flows.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with sobriety. Like, cause I don't know that like I'd ever. I mean, I really like drinking beer. You know, I love the taste of beer, and I miss it. And like I'll drink NAs sometimes, but it's just like I don't know. It's not that the NAs don't taste good. It's that there's not like as much of a variety of different types of beers. And because I would like, I'm gonna get a stout. I'm gonna get a stout. You know, when I would drink.
Is the Guinness. It tastes just like a normal Guinness.
Oh really? I don't know that I've had it. I should do that.
I like that.
But like, yeah. Like it's not sobriety for like creativity or nothing, because I'll probably drink again one day. It was just like I was like, I think I was partying too much and you know, like not just drinking, I was just partying too much and or not too much, but like
it was taking up a bigger chunk of your life.
I wasn't partying too much. It wasn't like as fun anymore, and it didn't feel as good afterwards anymore, and I needed a break, and then that break. I took a little break. That break turned into like a year. That break to 2 years, and I was like, "Yo, I'm like, this is fun right now. I'm having a good time."
Yeah.
So you know, then that's just where
I think the longest since I started. I didn't start drinking until I was 29.
Yeah.
So the longest that I've gone since then was like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't start drinking until I was in my 20s.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of me wants to know that I have the ability to not do it. But also, like, I get what you're saying. Like, if you're drinking and you're partying and it's the same thing over and over, same backdrop, same scene, same people, it can get a little mundane. But like, not as like a pro this or caveat, but like 2 nights ago I was in Phoenix hanging out with, you know, FXR division guys and the guys from Cruzy, and I'm drinking with those guys, even though. Trent from Cruises is sober now. He was still drinking NA beers and just hanging out the whole night.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm in a different setting. I'm with different people. So it's like, this is a socializing thing that I enjoy. That's the hard part to give up. I can give up the drinking at my bike night every week because that is a setting that doesn't change, and it doesn't feel very, there's not much I'm getting out of that, as opposed to like when I go to Austin or I go somewhere else. So there's, you know, it's different, you know?
No, I understand. Like, cause that was always a good icebreaker, is drinks.
Yeah,
yeah, and
it gets you flowing.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I mean, like I probably will again one day. I can't, like my chick mentioned the other day. Like we have a friend who she worked at like a bar in LA, and she just was like making one-off drinks for them or something. I don't know, I might butchering the story, but she was like making, you know, fancy cocktails and kind of like limited run type shit, like parts. But and the business started doing better, and then those people like kind of made her like a partner or something like that, right? So then now she does that for all their bars. She makes their special drinks. And I say all that to say because we always talk about how we would like to go try one of her new drinks that she just put out. We're like, that looks fucking awesome, dude. Like, and that's kind of like, you know, like she thought that up, and it's cool.
Yeah.
This carrot fucking mezcal drink, you know, it sounds all right.
Yeah.
You know, but
well, my chick, she doesn't drink much, but I do really enjoy drinking with her. Yeah. Like when she is like, fuck it, I'll have some wine tonight. I'm like, I'll drink wine with you any night, babe. Let's go.
That's kind of how we are.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I am really, I guess, is that, like it got to where I just like, you know, partying with her the most, you know, or book like vacations and stuff, like going to the, like Palm Springs or something, just chilling by the pool, or, you know, small little vacations.
What's your favorite hotel in Palm Springs?
Oh man, so it's That's a great question. I've been dying for people to ask me that forever, and so I appreciate that question. There's this one hotel that I always go to that's like not shitty, but it's not nice.
Yeah.
But it's such a good vibe outside. It's hanging out outside all the time, and it's Caliente Tropics.
Okay.
You ever been to Caliente Tropics?
I've only been one time.
Yeah. Where?
And I asked you that because the place that I picked, I wanted to go there to like go check out the mid-century modern stuff that I really love that style of architecture and design.
Yeah.
And I just found the cheapest hotel in the mix. And it was called the Exotic Dreams Resort.
Yeah. Was it sick?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was sick, but it wasn't like what I thought it was going to be. It was a sex motel.
Oh, what is that? I mean, I know what sex is.
It was all about swingers and like people going in there and like swinging, basically.
Oh, really? Yeah, we're not doing that.
It was an off night.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't many people there, but there was a gay couple there, and then there was another couple, a man and female couple.
Yeah.
And my buddy, who just happened to like come with me because I met him at like Chuck Wally, who was at the racetrack.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I got a hotel in Palm Springs. You want to go just chill? Because he lived in San Diego at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's like, we'll go hit the bars and go hang out and shit. And when we got in there, we were freaking out, dude. It's all on YouTube. But what was never said was, like we came back from the bar and we're walking because you have to go down the whole courtyard to get to the room. Yeah. And we're walking and then you can't not look at this. And you're walking in, the windows wide, the blinds are wide open, and a dude is just pegging a dude, and you just can't unsee that, and you just.
Yeah, this hotel I go to is not like that, but it's we go there not for the hotel really.
Yeah.
Like we're hardly ever. I mean, we're sleeping in the room. That's about it. And the room is just good enough to where. It's got white sheets, you know, and I'm like, cool. It's got white sheets, so first impression,
they're bleaching
it looks good, yeah. But I mean, there's a wall unit, and it's like a motel, 2-story. It's old, but what's sick about it is that it has this big pool, and when we would drink, they have a bar, they have a good bar and little restaurant, like. Fish and chips or whatever.
Yeah.
I love fish and chips. I get it. If anybody has it, I normally get it. And they have good, nice. When I would go to Palm Springs, I'd be like, I get what I like to say, like boat drinks. Like what I'd be drinking on a boat. Yeah. Because most of the time I drink beer, but if I'm like out somewhere, I want to go get a boat drink. So it'd be like. I didn't come up with that. Like all my like friends used to say that at one point when we would anything with like Malibu in it, right?
Malibu and rum have that, or Malibu is rum.
Yeah,
but
it's like coconut rum,
like the pina colada smell.
Oh yeah, love it.
Yeah,
love it. Any kind of like rum. I think I have a too bad of a sugar addiction, and like rum is like it's sugar, right? It's made of sugar. I think it's made of sugar. It's like sugar cane, but like so. Naturally, if I'm not drinking beer, it'd be like rum drinks, and so they'd have good boat drinks that are cheap, and there was like the same woman always works there. She'll like walk around the pool while you're chilling, take your order, bring it out.
Nice.
And if you go, so it's like bar, pool, and if you go a little bit past the pool, there's like a grass area with like palm trees, and it's like shaded and like places to sit, and like kind of like a little bit of mist always going.
Yeah.
And it's cool just to go out there and just chill in that grass. Like sometimes I just go out there and lay in the grass.
Yeah.
Like I would maybe maybe go like smoke some weed and just chill in the grass. Mm-hmm. And it was just we'd go to this hotel, it'd be really hot and sit outside and just be in nature really.
It's a vibe down there, though. Yeah. I mean,
but I've never seen a swinger thing there. But I can see that happen in Palm Springs for sure.
I didn't know anything about Palm Springs other than the architecture that was there, and I think I had heard there was some. I didn't know it was a swingers paradise. That I stumbled into the underbelly of fucking the swinger universe.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it was an off night and. They had a sex maze there. Dude, you'll have to watch the little YouTube video that we did on it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. You did it? I mean, you didn't do the swinger party, but you did the
No, I
video.
filmed the whole thing that I was there, kind of like we were filming at your shop.
Yeah.
And there was an initial there when we got there and we weren't drinking at all. And then later the night after we left the bars and got a 12-pack and came back, we're fucked up. And we're walking around this thing, like being quiet, like there's anybody there. Like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Well, a lot of Palm Springs though too is like it's kind of like a little West Hollywood. You know about West Hollywood at all?
Not really.
West Hollywood's like it's known for like the gay clubs.
Oh, okay.
Because like me, I would go with my chick some because like when my chick loves to dance a lot. I don't really dance, but I'll go out there and stand around and try to make her happy.
Get a free drink.
Yeah, but I have a story about that in Florida too. But like we would go to those places because she just wanted to go dance and she wouldn't get hit on at the gay clubs, right?
Yeah.
And but Palm Springs is like that.
Yeah.
A lot of it's like that. And because we were at a karaoke place one time, and this drag queen that like a famous drag queen that my chick knew, but was like there out of drag, and she knew him. She was like, oh, that's so and so, and then somehow I found we like, I think we seen another drag queen out there too, and like I just found out that like that
that's their scene. That's the hub.
Yeah, I mean it's like a it's
sanctuary.
Like, yeah, it's like a West Hollywood like partying area, but so I don't know, maybe there's like I don't know. I guess I'm kind of like stereotyping drag queens about having sex parties, but I don't think that's the case because like anyways.
I just think people out there are like it's just exists. And then when we were going down the Google rabbit hole, like there's a lot of these places all over America that are like that.
Yeah.
And it's not just about swinging or gay stuff or whatever the case may be. It's just like it is. People are just more open sexually and do shit like that and whatever.
Yeah, in Palm Springs.
Well, there's in Palm Springs and there's other places in America that have it like too.
Where else?
Definitely like there's stuff in Austin, there's stuff in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, like I guarantee there's stuff here, but we just kind of then it became a thing where they put the place up for sale, and everybody started tagging me in it like, oh, y'all should buy this place and turn it into it. I was like, what am I going to turn it into? Half the people that used to come here are going to hate us because we turned into something that's not what it was. It's like, nah, dude. Not that I would buy that anyway, but I think it'd be cool to own like an old school motel. Like, if you ever go to like Route 66 through like Tucumcari and Santa Rosa.
No, I mean, I've been on it some, but I don't know about if I've been that area.
Out there is where they have a lot of those old school neon sign, like drive-through motel kind of things.
What city is that, or what state?
Tucumcari. It's New Mexico, so it's like on the other side, like on the Texas border side of Albuquerque, and it's like you go Amarillo, you cross the border to Tucumcari, and then Santa Rosa, and then another small town, then you're in Albuquerque. They're like 30, 40 miles apart.
I kind of have like a soft spot in my heart for New Mexico, really. That's like I used to know a guy that lived there, and like he was in the chopper world, but he's kind of like, disappeared from it these days. But first time I came to Born Free, we stopped there, and he helped me get my panhead back running because it was like having a hard time. And then we like and rode about the rest of the way from New Mexico to California, or to Born Free, right? But it was in a town called like Edgewood or something.
What's it by?
It was like. We were taking 40 the whole way there, right? So it was like, I'd say if on 40, it was right off of that, like maybe like an hour outside of Albuquerque, like before Albuquerque, coming from the east.
Yeah, my buddy Hot Scott lives there. He's from this area, or he lived here before he moved there, but they were working for the studios, him and his old lady that they met at a chopper party here, and he helped me off the side of the road down there.
Yeah.
So I was just like, what's his name? So no.
Oh yeah, no. This guy like he moved to Montana, and his name's man, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name because like it's like I think it's Trent. Like, Man, I can't remember his name. Like he built a bike
about
Born Free back in the day.
You talking about the dude that used to do it was like MMA fighting too or some shit like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's kind of a prick.
Yeah, like I never.
What's that fucking Instagram name?
Atomic.
It's like Atomic. Yeah,
I've heard that before from other people, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really say that. I've seen that.
I think that he's very vocal on social media, and he's probably a real great dude. But
yeah,
it seems like, and I don't know much about the dude. I just know that I got targeted for a little while. I'm like, look, dude, you removed yourself from a world because it didn't fit some narrative that you wanted it to be, or thought it should be, or
a lot of people do that.
I was like, that's on you, dude. That's your expectation.
Yeah.
So for the fact that you're running around talking shit about everybody and what they're doing and what they're stoked about is not cool.
I've definitely seen that.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen some people mention that. I wouldn't defend them or anybody, but I can only base like my experiences I had with him, you know, and I knew him because he was friends of like a friend at the time, and that friend that I was with, that he kind of isn't around anymore in Chop World either, but like I still keep in touch with that guy, but you know,
I think he, like I said, I don't mean to just jump on him and say that, but I do think that's the problem. I mean, there's no way he's not a good dude. I mean, if he was doing this stuff for a long time, it's just that I see it happen a lot, man. I've been in this industry for quite a while, as you have as well, and you see people fall out of love with it, and sometimes they don't fall out of love with it and just walk away gracefully. They want it. They want to have a really shitty breakup with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just where they're at that time. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, I've had disagreements with people in it, and I hope that it all. I hope that it all like comes back around one day, but with whoever might. I might have offended somehow, because I just, I really love everybody, and I want like everyone to get along, But I just think I think we're all the same. Really,
Yeah.
we're all the same, like we all, and
Well, if you hold people accountable for just some core things as being a good human, some integrity, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, be a man of your word. And if you can't hold your word, then bring it up before it has to be brought up. You know what I mean?
For
like
sure.
integrity is like one of those things that like, okay, well, you don't build the type of bike that I'm into, or you're interested in something I'm not into. What the fuck does that have to do with my character and who I am as a person, you know? Like, that's where I think that like people need to, manage their expectations of what they, because if I built a bike and just ripped off something he did in style and didn't pay no homage or credit to him, then that would be a part of my integrity that would be in question, and therefore, bam. But if I'm out there doing my own thing, mowing my fucking grass, taking care of my old lady and my kids and my business and building my bikes and sharing the love of the people that helped me do it, then bro, what do you got to say about me?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, we just met today, really, but like I've talked to you online, but like I don't see that with you. I don't see any. I think you seem like you're having fun doing this stuff, so you just want to do it.
Try.
And that's like so that's why I follow you. That's why I mean, and yeah, I don't know. It's all pretty silly, like social media.
Yeah.
It only makes it like worse, really. But it's kind of like I've just kind of, I used to have a problem with it, kind of, but it's almost like a necessary evil now for me.
Yeah, we're all figuring out how to live with it.
I probably sound ridiculous right now talking about it, but I think I found like this, at least right now, I found like a sweet spot that I'm like happy with.
Yeah.
And it's like, just like showing people some shit I made.
Yeah.
For the most of the time, people like it. Sometimes people like, they say some stuff that's like not ideal, but I
every once in a while I get it too, especially on YouTube. I just don't respond. I don't.
Yeah.
To say that it doesn't, to say that it doesn't affect me in a kind of way is like, because there's a part of me that wants to engage with it to try to win them over, right? And it's not going to work, but you said something earlier that I'm the same way. Like, I don't really put a lot of opinions out there. Like, I'd give all kinds of opinions on a podcast, right? But I don't post it on social media, and I don't even like be the kind of guy to make videos like, you know what, you guys need to do this or that. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, like, we're in a spot in social media where it seems like all the stuff that's going viral. Not that I'm trying to do that, but what people seem to connect to is somebody doing this on their phone and talking to it about whatever said subject. And I just don't want to be the dude to like preach about anything in this. I'd rather the art form, the bikes, the podcasts, the YouTube, the photography be the art that goes out in some form or fashion, and how people interpret it will hopefully inspire them to do something. Not me going, if you don't ride state line, you don't cross state lines, you're a bitch. Like,
nah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And I have been that way. Now, this is a growth thing.
No, I've been there. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying I've for sure been there. Like a lot. I used to try to I mean, maybe I still slip up, but I would like have to feel the need to I correct people.
Oh,
Sometimes.
yeah.
Especially when like I was in my 20s and stuff, like, and then it just would make things worse, you know. Or but it was almost like I'd be trying to like sound. Actually, it's like this, you know. Probably trying to sound smarter, but really you only kind of sound like.
Well, if you think about it like this, it's yes. Like, I have answers to a lot of things in certain worlds, right? But not being specifically asked for those answers and giving them sometimes feels like especially because it's through a text, whether it's like on social media or commenting on something, it becomes however that person interpreted it, right? And they can take it as like criticism, constructive criticism or whatever. But then at the end of the day, it just doesn't always usually translate well. It's like, it'd be different if like you DM them and it was a private conversation as a correcting instead of a public like when you're doing it publicly, it's like you're trying I would take it as like you're trying to let everybody know that you're smarter than me. And that's kind of an overthinking situation as well. But it's like, dude, if you really thought I was doing something wrong, DM me and correct me and allow me to go in the comments and say, actually, man,
for sure.
So-and-so said it was this way and he's right, I did it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. I like to, I really like to talk to people in person.
Yeah,
you
me
know?
too.
And I really, and that's what I try to do the most. You know, you can't always do it that way, because like if I'm under the impression someone, or maybe I've been told someone has a problem with me, then I immediately want to like call them or go see them. You know, but it's not like I want to be like, yo, dude, what up? You know, because that's and then that's why I don't do it, because that's the way it might come off to them, you know, and so.
I got a good buddy.
So most of the time, I just try to.
I think that it's an uncomfortable thing, right? And I'm not good at this either. I would like to be the guy that could get ahead of a problem. You know what I'm saying? Get ahead of and go somewhere and talk to them. Be like, hey man, what's up, man? Like what was it that I did or whatever, and then actually listen to understand instead of listen to correct. You know, like, well, I've had to learn this as in my relationship with my wife. It's easy to get like riled up and be like her, but it's like when I really do listen to her and she feels like she can just tell me what she thinks is wrong, and I don't immediately come back with, nope, that was not what I was trying to like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I didn't understand that. Like, that's how I was coming off.
Yeah,
you know
I can. I can relate. Most of the time, because my wife always kind of sees. Most of the time, she always sees the best in me, and that's why we've been together for like. Yeah. I mean, this year, like I said, it'll be like 20 years of marriage. I'm pretty proud of that.
Hell yeah, I hit 10 years this year too. So
really,
that's awesome.
I got married when I was 20. Yeah, 20.
Nice. It's easy math.
Yeah, easy math. Yeah. I gotta use the restroom again.
All right, we can wrap it up, man. I think we're at a good point, dude.
Really?
Yeah, because We're trying to keep these around 2 hours, and we're past that. So
Yeah, I'll let my dog out too. I mean, I could talk more. I just
keep an eye on him until you get outside, so you don't.
yeah.
All right, well, thanks, man. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want to thank Wesley for hanging out with me, spending the day. His dog was pretty vicious. We had to keep him in the back room because he wanted to tear me up, just snipping at me. Anyway, no, Wesley's great. I got to meet his old lady, Candy. She's awesome as well. I had a great time out there in LA, and this was the last podcast I had recorded in the LA area. So, yeah, kind of nostalgic listening back to it now and thinking about the good times I had out there. Speaking of good times, I am literally about to leave to go to Sturgis. I am recording this, and then I'm putting this out to the world, and then I'm hopping on the new Road Glide. So sick. I had a lot of great help, a lot of sponsors in that bike. And yeah, I'm actually finally really stoked about riding this new road glide. So yeah, I'm kind of rushing through this because I'm ready to go ride. I'm ready to go to the Black Hills and have a good time. So anyway, if you guys enjoy these podcasts, please check out the sponsors. They're down in the description below. They drastically help keep this podcast rolling and going. Also, last but not least, our Patreon is a lifeline to this podcast. So if you like this show, you like getting this content, just go to Patreon. $5 a month helps keep this show, keep these lights on, keep the show on the road, keep things going. Appreciate you guys listening to this stuff. Hope you have a good one. Hopefully we'll see you guys in Sturgis. Yeah, we'll see you when we get back. All right, peace.